And good evening, everyone. We're going to start tonight at Zoar Valley, the beautiful gorge at the Erie-Cattaraugus County line. It's one of the most beautiful places in western New York, and this time of year, more and more of us are making plans to visit there. But Zoar Valley can also be dangerous. 2.5 years ago, we investigated why there have been so many deadly accidents there over the decades, following the loss of 2 more young people who were simply out for a fun time and never made it home alive. The families of Brooke Walker and Connor Long know this all too well. They joined others touched by tragedy at Zoar Valley to demand change, and the state DEC has responded, making some major improvements while keeping access available. Tonight we have an update on the next phase of safety updates. Erica Ringewald joins us now. She is the DEC's Chief of Staff. Erica, we appreciate you taking some time as we discuss this important topic. I want to kind of start with what is immediately happening now at Zoar Valley. Walk us through the plan for the DEC as we're in the spring now and as summer is quickly approaching.
Sure. And first off, Michael, thank you for following this so closely. I think you have been really on top of this story from the very beginning. So I just wanted to thank you for that. In the near term, we are undertaking a phased construction project to start a new Americans with Disability Act accessible trail. The trail, as I said, in phases, the first phase of which included clearing some brush and some trees from the area that happened in March and April and has concluded now. That resulted in the closure of the parking lot at Valentine Flats and the closure of the Overlook Trail. Start of construction on the trail itself, we expect to begin late summer, early fall.
What is the message that you would have to Western New Yorkers watching right now? Because this is the time of year that we are planning to go down to Zoar Valley to experience the incredible beauty that exists there. But no matter what improvements are made, there is always going to be a certain level of danger that exists there, especially if people are going to the areas where they shouldn't be. What would be your message to folks watching right now?
Sure. So, Zoar Valley is 3,000 plus acres. It's a wild, natural area. Each spring, typically right before the Memorial Day holiday weekend, we really push a recreate responsibly message. Public safety is our top priority, our #1 concern, and we have undertaken a suite of efforts at Zoar Valley to help improve public safety there. But just before the Memorial Day weekend, we like to push out that safety message to encourage folks to prepare before they visit the DEC website, which is a treasure trove of information about our wild and natural areas across the state, including Zoar Valley, and really have a plan before you get outside.
Tragically, over the years, there have been too many accidents at Zoar Valley, and many of the families who tragically lost loved ones have really made it their mission to educate the public about how to responsibly and safely visit Zoar Valley and to press for these changes. I know DEC has really taken this on, and this has been a multi-year effort to really make it a safer place. Can you walk us through some of the big changes that have happened there? I mean, everything from working with Google so that the maps take you to the right areas to marking places so that they know where the safe trails are, and just all the work that's happened.
Yeah, we have been working closely with many of the families who have been impacted by tragic accidents at Zoar. And the efforts over the past few years have included installing hundreds of safety signs. We've brought on 2 assistant forest rangers, stewards, and interns who are working at the site during the summer months. As you mentioned, we're working with these external entities to make sure their maps are accurate and that people are entering Zoar at the, formal official entry points so that they stay on marked trails. We also brushed in some of those trails that visitors created themselves that perhaps were not so safe. We issued a set of new regulations that prevent reaching the cliff face within, I believe it's 15 feet. We also put out a revised management plan So there have been, it's been a big effort, but we're trying to be responsive to the need at this site and what we heard from a lot of the families and visitors too.
Yeah, and so many of those families have told me personally, the goal here is not to keep folks from having access to Zoar Valley. It is such a treasure. It's just to make it safer for all of us. I'll end then with, what does the future hold there? Long term, is this going to be a continuing process for the DEC, just looking there and identifying, okay, we can do this, we can do that, we can work on this, to continue that process of making it safer?
I think, Michael, this is going to be an ongoing process. It's going to be something that we are refreshing and refining every year. The new trail that I talked about, we're already refining that trail route to make sure it's as safe as possible. But we're also really trying to get the message out there that folks, when they're coming out to visit these natural areas, that they do need to plan ahead and prepare. And since COVID, we have seen an incredible uptick in the number of New Yorkers and visitors from other states and Canada who are coming to DEC's natural areas, from Long Island to the Adirondacks to Zoar Valley. And so those are our new audiences all the time that we're communicating with about how to get outside and do it safely and responsibly. So that's going to be an ongoing effort for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and just to highlight that again, you talked about the website, which really is just a treasure trove of information. It really helps you plan your trip to Zoar Valley, and then also following those signs. There used to not be as many signs. There are so many down there, and it really helps people have the best experience. Erica Ringewald is the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation's Chief of Staff, talking to us here about efforts at Zoar Valley. Erica, thanks so much for taking time.
Thank you, Michael. We appreciate you covering this.